Hello, everyone. Welcome to Session 3 of Dungeon Scrawlers Actual Play Series for Pathfinders, 2nd Edition, Adventure Path Spore War. All right, welcome back. This is Session 3 of the Paizo Actual Play for Spore War, a high-level, level 11 to level 20 3-book adventure path. Before we get into the adventure path, I'm Seneschal. I'm going to be the game runner for this series. And in this session, we're going to start the second of 3 Prelude adventures I wrote for this actual play. And the idea of these preludes is to give the characters room to breathe, give the characters time to become acclimatized to each other, to become bonded as a group, and time for the players and the GM to freshen up our knowledge of 2nd edition Pathfinder remastered rules, and really give this a lead into the level 11 start that isn't abrupt. So we're going to be starting today at level 8. There's going to be some time passage, and there's going to be some downtime that we're going to go through as well using the Pathfinder rules. I'd like to thank our dice partners. We have Norse Foundry, who produce excellent metal, gemstone, and even bone dice. They're beautiful and give some heft to your rolls on the table. And Phoenix Dice, who give recycled dice a second chance at life, and they're just gorgeous dice as well. We are going to, the links are in the usual places. And we are going to also issue special thanks to, of course, Paizo for the excellent Pathfinder rules, as well as Tom Kartos for maps and assets that I use, and Dungeon Draft, Roll20, Archives of Nethys for the support that is given through their tools, which I use and appreciate. The next thing we're going to do is introduce our players. So before we begin, I'd like to welcome our very talented, dedicated cast of players. I'd like to apologize for Stephen, who's not available today, but we have 4 people, and we're going to go ahead and please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name's Gwendolyn. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a teacher. I do a lot of focusing on English and theater. Currently doing a lot more middle school stuff. I'll be playing Briala Sparkburn, a wonderful half-elf wizard looking to find her mom. You can find me on Coven Gwen on Instagram if you want to talk about RPGs, any any kind of things that are interesting to you. Interested to hear people's thoughts on Daggerheart. So if you've been
Mhm.
flipping through the book, so far I'm pretty positive about it, but I'm gonna try and run a game here in the next couple weeks. So, well, who knows?
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Par. I've played TTRPGs for the last 6 years, both on streams and off streams. And today I'll be playing JD Orfelavel, who is a drunken monk who believes in booze as much as a cleric believes in the gods.
I'm sorry, that sent me. Hi, I'm Lex. I go by Fortivair on the internet, except for where I'm Lex Arts with 2 X's, like my card. I'll be playing Banda Daria, the Elfin Dromar, Nomad, Ranger, and short shit on a mission. That mission? Don't worry about it.
I'm not.
Hi, my name is Skye. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Varen, a thaumaturge fetchling that I'm learning has a very interesting penchant for making wonderfully smelling crab. And of course, when I'm not doing that, I am working as a bartender and also doing weird things with my voice for fun.
Thank you, everyone. All right, let's launch into it. We're experiencing a time jump of 3 years here. The player characters have had opportunities to work together, to work separately, but have really started to become bonded as a group. When one person isn't up to a task, you know that you can call on and count on each other. Other people come and go from Green Gold, and you've worked with others as well, but this core group of 5, except for today, they have forged a connection over defeating a colossal crab together, weathering some misadventure, and really standing up for each other in circumstances where they weren't sure on their first real foray into the wilds that they were going to survive. When you live in Green Gold, you get used to people coming and going because it is, again, the only real community in the Keonan Elven lands that is open to outsiders. And so the turnover is pretty constant. But you as a group have all, for one reason or another, gravitated to Green Gold and have stayed there. You've gotten accustomed to some of the places and some of the players. And so we're going to explore the map in a little bit and familiarize ourselves with some of the locations there and where some people live. But before we do that, we're going to ask you to start thinking about your downtime activities. So as we're going through the map, give some thought to what you would be doing in a 3-year period, and give some thought as to how tightly connected you might be. If you have a name for your group, you don't need one now, but at some point you need some branding, some marketing, if you're trying to get work in Green Gold, establish a presence here. So let's go to Roll20. You can remove your player tokens or move them to one side, or we can use one player token to represent the whole party. But we're just going to go through some of the interesting areas in Green Gold. For example, you have met some people here. And one of the people you've met is Serthal, who is the proprietor of Serthal and Son Boutique of Curiosities. Kalion's his first name, and he is someone that increasingly all of you have occasion to work with. And that is right here at V4. His shop is large. It's right in front of the Temple of Callistria, and the A8 is the, that's A6. A8 is the Founders Square, which is Green Gold's largest public square where they hold all of their festivals. Big events happen there, and his shop is facing right onto the square. It's a prime location. And if you would be surprised how many important personages go through there, given that it's the front end of the shop is quite small. The back warehouse area is enormous. So, who's been working with Serthal? Lex. So Banda has worked for Serthal before. Briala has had an occasion or two with Lex as well. And the two of you would find yourselves in there with Toad on occasion. And what you've actually come to learn is that Serthal has become friends with Commander Varen Moravian, who is Toad's patron. They are a retired commander of the Keonan Defense Forces and has experience in every level of military service and has retired in apparent frustration. So they will often be found there in Serthal's shop chatting to one another. We have the Magister's Tower is at V3 right here. Let's get that ping. Right on the corner of the canals with a view over the entire town of Greedgold. And Varen spends quite a bit of time there. But let's talk about what's changed. The years have not been kind to the Magister, and he was already forgetful and rambling before. You have sensed his decline is both tragic and unstoppable. So have you helped him in any way?
I think that Varen has definitely devoted time to ensuring that it's a peaceful process, taking care of whatever errands might be necessary in order to just maintain his lifestyle. Probably sorting through to keep up some semblance of cleanliness, and also taking the time to read whatever interesting books they find whenever cleaning.
It becomes increasingly difficult, not so much because of the Magister's decline. He's actually quite kindly. The real difficulty has been with others seeking to take advantage of him, and his own sons who come to visit and have increasingly tried to take charge of his affairs in a way that seems self-serving to you. So we're not going to dwell on that right now, but that's the underlying tone of what you're having to guard against. Jadior.
Oh.
Welcome back. Your patron has asked you to do too much that you are unprepared to do. Between, let's say, the commander and the shopkeep, who would you be most inclined to seek work from?
I think the shopkeep.
There's no question that Kalion Serthal can source some exotic beverages which might be of interest to Jadior. And he learns of your interest in small sample sizes in the hopes of achieving a breadth of experience with different liqueurs and vintages. And he started to seek those out broadly across Golarion. He charges a steep price, but he gives a deep discount when you're helping him with other things. It works for now. You also become aware that Toad's patron, the commander, is often there at his shop, and they seem to be quite a pleasant person to interact with. Unassuming, despite their former high rank, and relatable. All right. The commander's residence, by the way, is here. A fairly decent-sized but unassuming house in a residential district. Nothing special. But quite often, Toad goes there for a visit or just for an assignment. All right. Let's get roll 20 to stop jiggling around on me. There we go. Next up. You would also be, I'll just fill you in on where Valthorn's estate was because you've been there, JDR. And that's this residence right here. Off on the boundary of town, surrounded by a lovely, well-manicured and very expensive garden and a private lane. The estate Next to that is Vionan Estate at A7, another noble's estate. Lady Selival, Briala, I imagine she would both know and be interested in staying current with respect to the lady's estate. Is that correct?
Definitely correct. Just, keeping up on the comings and goings. And
It's right there.
great.
I'll ping again.
Yeah, A7 or no,
B2.
B2.
Yeah.
B.
It's a large mansion in town by the canals. All right, the other place that you've been to that I didn't have on the map at the time is Taz's Tankard and Table, where your first combat occurred. And that is right in the Docks District at V5. Across from A3, which is the Steelhead Pier and Fish Market. It's not a very... I mean, all of Green Gold is pleasant, but it is not the most pleasant part of Green Gold. It's the Docks District, for sure. And Taz has been struggling. It's been 3 years, still in operation, but failing as a business. Just not able to attract the visitors and not able to keep a consistent clientele. And part of the problem there is that there are so many burgeoning taverns, inns, and restaurants in Green Gold to deal with the international trade, lake travel, road travel. The competition is fierce, and Taz just doesn't have the instincts to run a business successfully, despite having excellent homebrewed ale and mead. And the place is not run down. Taz keeps it immaculate, but none of the fixtures are nice. It's just what Taz could afford. All right. So the reason that I gave you that sort of brief on some of the locations in Green Gold will become clear in a moment. Let's talk about downtime activities. In Pathfinder 2e, downtime activities are definitely a feature that you can explore. You can use them to generate revenue. You can use them to do spell research or to establish connections, to learn more about various opportunities. So if you want to resort to the rules, you can. If you want to just tell me what your objectives are, I'll work through that with you. We're going to go through pretty quickly. Don't need to spend a ton of time on it, but I do want to get a sense as to what you've been doing. Who wants to go first? Or you can go collectively and combine your efforts. That's also an option.
I'll go
Lex, I think you're muted. But
I am muted. At the very least, Banda would have been... You mentioned people come and go from Green Gold, and while he has spent a good bit of time here working hard and all that, he also spends time just gone, whether by ship or traveling over land. He can't help it. He's got to travel. When he's here, though, he spent a bit of time making money by crafting alchemical stuff, investigating alchemical stuff, tattooing people at the docks, just make ends meet.
Yeah.
And, odd jobs for Sirthal.
all right.
But I think the biggest thing he's been focusing on while here is just getting a better lay of the land. I feel like he has probably spent time doing patrols with Toad out in the wilderness.
Yeah, absolutely. And during that time, I think you mentioned during the break that you were also interested in determining whether you can forge connections with local wildlife, at least training in your tame animal skill and talent. Absolutely, that's something you can do. You don't really have a base of operations per se, but you certainly learn of some nearby groves and the habits and tracks and dens of various animals, and you earn their trust to a certain extent. I'd like you to make a roll on that, please.
All right.
This is a representative role of your general success in learning these things.
Yeah. Let me double check which one that is. Literally just had it open. Nature. Okay.
Yeah.
19, not bad.
That's not bad. Definitely you have some success, and whether you were hunting or trying to foster trust with some of the animals nearby, you develop some knowledge on the local area and some skills in that regard. Skye, I think you were going to say something.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, Varen.
So, either one works. I think that Varen was going to spend time both working to help protect the Magister's tower from his sons, or from his children and everything like that, slowly poring over the tomes that they found in the magical tower while cleaning it, and just generally caring for the Magister, and otherwise was spending time researching in the library and continuing to do their work there, while also working on building potential academic connections and prioritizing those who might be able to have good intentions in mind in the event that Varen has to leave town and cannot protect the Magister.
Let's get a gather information roll from you on that, please.
Absolutely. Would that be academia lore, or would that be something else?
You get to decide. What do you have in terms of lores?
I have esoteric lore and academia lore.
Let's
Other
do
lore.
academia.
Yeah. 22.
All right. So during your time, you definitely forged some connections with local scholars who, based on your curiosity, you earn each other's trust and form a study group, or in any event, you do develop connections with some locals who are so interested in academia, but are generally benevolent people who may be useful in future as contacts. You also do have the sense that you could call upon them to do a favor if you needed to. They don't have resources, but they have time and intelligence.
Got it.
Briella, how would you spend your downtime?
Yeah, I think these past 3 years, I think it's been focused in on, like, setting up Lady Selival for, like, slights that can't be traced back to Briella and, like, little bits. When she found out all those people were fired for the actions, like, for her, like, sniping her with this old tea. I think she helped, like, find those people, like, new jobs, or, like, gave them a little bit of gold from selling the good tea, to people who could pay for it. And also, I think probably trying to find their mom, which might be, like, wandering over to more near Varen's territory, at least in this case, knowing that she was a scholar of sorts.
Yes.
Perhaps they knew, but unfortunately, the person I'd love to ask is ailing and doesn't have great memory anymore. So,
But Varen is an excellent resource to help with that kind of inquiry, and you would know that based on their proclivities. So yes, you can absolutely enlist their aid. Let's explore that, but let's also explore the research into Lady Selival, because you would be able to try to get damaging information if you make a roll. So you can make both of those, gather information, and Varen can make the roll for you, searching for your mother, if you'd like. That's your option.
No, I'm so petty. Dang it. Varen, can you help me with this?
Oh, absolutely. What exactly are you in search of?
Well, I've been searching for years, looking for my mother. Apparently I was actually born in Golarion, so I'm looking for my mother, Eva Gilvaris. She was a wonderful scholar, researcher, all-around wonderful mage, and haven't seen hide or tail of her anywhere. I'm sure she's around. She's an elf, she can do whatever she wants and go wherever she wants and live forever. So, Just didn't know if you maybe heard through the cracks or the grapevines. Do they say that in Galarian? They do now. We'll start it.
They do. In green, I think in green gold, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green gold.
Make your roll, Farron.
Absolutely. Would that be another academia lore?
Yeah, I think it's fine. She's an academic. It's close enough.
Yeah.
You want to make a lore elf check or a lore hunting check?
Oh dear.
Yeah, that is not a good roll.
No, I'm sure you did good. Hang on, I just don't I can't see it yet. So let me adjust my screen so I can pull it up because I'm sure it's really good. And
You're very confident that there's just no record of this person ever existing. Briala, you can make your own roll. What lores do you have?
I have lore in elf and I have lore in hunting. As I've been
Use elf lore for sure.
Escalators.
Hey.
Is that
Dirty 20.
okay? So you do learn something.
Oh, great.
You find this gossip rag, this newsletter that is published anonymously in Green Gold, and is still published to this day, but you don't know by whom. And you learn that Lord Valthorn and your mother had a bit of a feud because the humble rural house and garden that belonged to your mother was in lands claimed by the Valthorn estate. Very similarly to the kind of claim you saw for the Druids dealing with.
Is my mother a noble?
It wasn't a noble estate that she had. It was a modest house and a garden, is what it says.
Perfect.
And it's the point of the article that you find is to make digs on Valthorn by basically toning it as they're trying to harass local long-time residents and trying to seize lands through legal means, through intimidation, purchase, what have you.
When was the publishment? When was the publish date of this rag?
It would have been about 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Easy. That's like yesterday in Elven time.
Yeah, not long at all.
How old am I again? 20 years.
How old are you?
I think I'm like maybe like 30 or 40.
Yeah. So barely past your independent years.
Dang. If only I was around. Cool. Great.
Thank you. JDR, you might also have reason to look into Valthorn's dealings, but what else would you be up to?
I try to keep some sort of relationship with the Circle of the Green Sickle.
Yeah.
Just because I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. I think they're neat.
They are neat.
And I think JDR starts to sort of look to like set roots down in Green Gold. So is like looking for, I guess all he could afford was like a rinky-dink shack.
We'll get to that in a second because there's an event that we will go through. But Taz needs help. If you're willing to assist, if you're looking to get involved that way in a local tavern, Taz needs help badly. What else would you be looking into Valthorn at all?
I think I'd look into him a bit. Just as like, I think not even like maliciously, but like I need information to protect myself just in case we really come to opposite sides completely.
Yeah. So let's have, and Briala, we forgot to deal with your research into Lady Salaval as well, which we'll do in a moment. But let's start with you, JDR. What lores do you have? Or what gather information checks do you have access to?
I only have alcohol lore.
Well, okay. And you can ask others for help. Elf lore is something that Briala has, and Varen is a scholar with academia. Let's dig into this a little bit.
Do you maybe have society or diplomacy skills training?
Either would be fine.
I do have diplomacy, I believe. Yeah,
You can definitely use diplomacy.
Okay, Sen, I'll lean on my diplomatic skills.
Yeah. All right, make that roll. Okay, would you like to ask for some help?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so what I'll say with a 9, first of all, is you have occasion to sort of eavesdrop on some conversations that Lord Valthorn has in public events. And I'll just give you a sense as to how repugnant this elf is. You hear him say, "The poor don't really realize the burdens of wealth and power. I don't think they know how hard it can be." You hear him say, "If only the commoners would try being wealthy for a day, then they'd understand."
That's a Carnegie quote, if I'm pretty sure.
So it's a Valthorn quote now, if it was. And other nobles, even those who are not utterly contemptible, they just, based on his influence, they just nod politely. But there are some that echo his sentiments. There are some really vile impulses among the elven nobility, you learn. Nothing helpful, but you might make you think differently of Valthorn, or you might have already thought that way.
I think JDR has a serious moment of reflection. Like, either he got more insufferable, or I just never clocked him correctly.
You catch him in unguarded moments. The burden of this is he also clocks you. You were not particularly smooth in gathering the information, and you get the sense that he is now aware that you're looking into him. So your urge to find safety in information backfires somewhat. All right. Did anyone want to help him?
Varen has diplomacy if nobody else does.
I
Go ahead.
mean, I don't have diplomacy. I would love to do some digging for you, but
If there's another skill, maybe.
thievery perhaps, but I don't know that well, actually, let me see something.
Yeah, I think that diplomacy is the only thing that Varen might have to be able to
Roll it.
assist there.
Roll it.
Alright.
Yeah.
26.
Nice.
Hey.
All right. You develop some awareness of rumors, and again, digging through old gossip magazines or papers, you find he's definitely manipulative and cruel and expansionistic. That's not a surprise. He feels that his service to the realm is underappreciated, and he believes that he should be entitled to a position on the Queen's Council in the capital. And he's working towards that end. But you also learn that his holdings are failing, and his patronage of various events are bankrupting him. And his acquisitions of land where he pays for them is bankrupting him. And there's rumors that he gets involved in some more shady dealings with blackmail or other rackets to try to bolster his finances. There's word on the street.
I really think that Varen was originally just trying to help Briala, and then just accidentally went down the Valthorn rabbit hole, and like just accidentally stumbled on all of this information.
Yeah. Would you share this information with everyone?
Oh, they absolutely would. Yes,
Okay.
especially if JDR would have prompted them.
Yeah. Briala, you've got a roll on Lady Salaval, and you can ask for someone to assist you if you wish with a second roll.
Yeah, what one would be best? Part of me thinks
I'm just to be clear, player creativity with respect to what skill to use, that's up to you. Diplomacy is the default for gathering information, but lore skills are also useful.
yeah, I have lore and elf and lore and hunting.
Hunting will not help with Lady Salaval.
I'd be curious. I'd love to touch base with Banda to be like, I want the inside scoop. I want that stealth. I want that thieving. You know, I don't. You know, obviously, I would never ask
Blackmail?
Banda. You know, if that.
Blackmail.
Gosh, I don't know if I'd ever use
Blackmail.
that word. When you're a detective, you have to be able to find information. You know?
want
And
Banda to sneak in and see what she can
Investigate.
find out?
I'm just saying, I
Investigate.
have this cool, like, little, like, butler outfit for you to wear, you know? You
Well,
just sneak right in.
Hey.
Hi.
That is absolute madness. I can hardly wait.
I don't know about no butler outfit, Daniel.
I also have a stable boy, but I figured that wasn't more of your vibe. I do have, they're, like, proficient in, like, sewing clothes. Wow, I could get you a chef? I'd have to make the hat. It'd take me an hour or two.
Deception. Let's see what I got under there. Impersonate. I think that's something I can do.
Yep.
You know, or you just sneak in, you know?
I can impersonate, I can lie, I can speak, whatever you need.
I leave it to you and your judgment. She is a blight on society, and the way she treats people can't stand.
Briala is like, I need dirt, and I am tired of reading 20-year-old gossip papers. I need a diary.
Can I make a combination of impersonate to get into the estate by making myself off to be a servant,
Yes.
and then sneak / theft, whatever, to
There's gonna
snag
be
a
more.
diary.
There's gonna be more rolls than that.
Cool.
We'll start with getting in. So let's split the party. You go in alone. Impersonate. Let's have it.
All right. And to my understanding, I am getting help from Briala in the form of providing outfit.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So I think
I'm
you
going to
get
give you a
+2?
+3 based on
+3.
some because you're not under time pressure, Briala. You can craft something that you know how their people dress. Absolutely not a problem.
Oh.
Look, natural 20 doesn't always mean a guaranteed success. That's what we know about Pathfinder Corp. What if there's a
Correct.
-5?
You know this is going to work. How could this not work? The outfit is perfect. You're just slipping in with the others, and the guard just puts their hand on your shoulder and looks right at you. You think this isn't tried on the regular. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you working for?
I just want to see if I could get in.
Oh, you're coming in. You're coming in.
No.
Come with me.
No. Can I be there?
I don't think it would make sense for you to be there.
In the bush, like in a bush, watching this go down.
Nope, the time to say that would have been when I said you're splitting the party and you're going in alone. That would have been the time to say
Oh, I
will
thought you
be
meant
there
going in
too.
the building alone. Okay, I
Yeah.
apologize.
No, don't be sorry, but Banda's gonna be fine as long
I'm
as.
in.
Are you going in?
I mean, he doesn't seem to be giving me an option, and I don't want to really fight him.
No, but really okay. So once you're inside, you lose control of the situation. There is always
Okay.
running.
There is always running.
Great
So
danger,
in-
great rewards. I'm not saying it's a death sentence to go inside, but you do lose control of the situation.
It's not worth it.
Is it possible to feint, perhaps, to slip the guard and turn this into a snatch and grab?
Oh, absolutely. Because the guard is expecting a few different things. I don't think that's one of them.
Cool.
Describe what you're trying.
I am attempting to, yeah, I'm going with you. It's fine. Yeah. I was just curious. And then effectively making an opportunity to, by trickery or whatever, to duck his grip into the building and book it.
Into the building.
Yes.
Yes, we can do that.
Because I would like to snatch and grab something.
I understand what you're saying. I did not understand it a moment ago, but I sure do now. Let's do this. All right.
And if I have to throw myself out a third floor window later in this to do it.
That's what I had in mind that you might have to do. Let's go. So, roll. How are you? Now, he has not
Bad
grabbed.
decisions.
He sort of put his arm behind you to sort of bar your way out. But I mean, you could run, but you're not running. You're cooperating. You know the guard mindset. This person is cooperating. I have control of the situation. Everything's great. I am really good at my job.
So good, buddy.
Is he really good at his job? Let's find out. What do you do?
Let's see what that is. I think that is. I think that's a reposition. I think that might just be, or
Yeah.
a tumble through.
Yeah, let's do it. So you wait until you're
go with.
just about to go into the guardhouse on the Oh, there's no separate guardhouse. So it's in the. He takes you inside the lobby. He's about to take you into the basement where the guard house is, and you.
Yeah, I'm gonna reposition to essentially, as he's going in, duck under his arm behind him and shut that door.
Awesome.
Book
Roll.
it. That is a. Stop that.
Just sitting at Taz's tavern. I bet it's going really well. I have no doubt.
Do you think Briella told
that is
JD or
athletics.
Varen
Cool.
about this?
So
I think-
curious.
I think maybe told you to. Yeah.
25.
I don't
Let's
think
say you're
told
telling
Toad.
them now
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
as it's underway.
They went alone?
Yeah, it just seemed like it was the best. They're the sneakiest. I'm kind of sneaky, but she kind of knows my face, so.
All right. 25. You completely fake out this guard. You end up closing the door with him on the other side, and you have tumbled back out just as the door was closing. You are in a hallway. You can go out the front door, which is now closed. There is one astonished looking butler standing there, astonished at seeing you tumble out. There's a long corridor. There are 4 doors, and there's a spiral staircase at the end of the hallway that goes up and down.
Ooh.
Quick decisions. Impulse.
I don't know if this counts as a hunt prey, but I would like to make use of it for the tracking. I'm trying to figure out where the most likely place a diary might be.
You don't need to roll that. You know the bedrooms are going to be upstairs.
Cool.
If there's an
That's-
office, it might be in the office. You would have no idea where that is, but it's certainly not going to be on the main floor or in the
Nope.
basement because
People
that's
like to have their studies up where they can see out. Oh, where they can see out into the either woods or the canals.
which would be on the
Yeah.
on the east side there, which is where the
Yep.
staircase is.
That upstairs was going to be the answer, but
All right.
that's the
You
vibe.
run up one stair. There's no one in the hallway of the main corridor on the second floor. There is the stairs keep going up. You can start exploring this floor, or you can go up.
Let's go up one more floor.
You go up one more floor. As you get to the third floor, you hear the shouts of the guard and the butler communicating, trying to determine which way you went. He says the stairs. All right. You see the stairs go up to a 4th floor. You are on the 3rd floor. The view from here, there are actually windows in the circular staircase that look out over the canal. The doors on this floor appear to be more finely made. One of them is ajar at the far end left side. That would be overlooking the city, not the forest or the canal.
I'll at least poke my head in. Stealthily, surreptitiously take a look through the ajar, door.
You run quickly to the end of the hallway. You look into that left door. You see what looks like a surprised cleaning maid making a bed in what appears to be a guest bedroom. At this point, you hear someone on the stairs running up quickly from the ground floor. They're 2 floors away from you.
Up to the 4th floor, then.
You pull back and run up to the 4th floor. They are now hot on your heels because they are running up the stairs as you are running up the stairs. You are now on the top floor of the building. There are 4 doors in this corridor as well. You know that the doors on your right, immediate right and left, would have the most commanding views over the canal and the forest, and the far rooms would have rooms over the or windows over the city.
Let's go with the city views.
I think you're
All right, you run to the end of the hallway, right or left?
Let's go left.
Try the door.
All right.
Let's see if it's locked. First of all, it is not locked.
Cool.
You open that door, and you see there's a library, a study, if you will, with comfortable plush velour chairs and large ornate carved bookshelves with some very expensive looking books on there. There's also a decanter full of some amber liquid and crystal glasses.
All right.
Do you leave the
Change
door open while you're in
plans.
here, or do you close it?
Oh, I'm gonna close it.
Quietly, I assume?
Yep.
Roll a stealth.
Let them decide
They're
one way or
they're
another
not far behind you.
which way I went. Doing the thing. Doing the thing. 19.
All right, you quietly close the door. There's no one in here. You have a moment.
You said
While you're doing whatever you're doing, by the way, you do hear someone come onto the floor, knock on a door closer to the stairway, and say, "I'm sorry to trouble you, my lady. There's someone in the estate. Please lock your door." Okay,
So
but that's as you're doing whatever you're doing now.
So, hearing that, it's like, okay. I don't want to be in the room with her. That's too risky. You said this is a library study with fancy stuff in it.
There's no desk, but there's comfortable chairs, books, and this decanter. These rooms on the city side appear to be quite small, so the larger rooms must be the ones overlooking the canals and the forest, closer to the stairs.
I'm gonna try some acrobatic shenaniganry. Do these windows open?
Yes.
Alright. Because this seems to be a library without immediate, sneaky planning capacity, I'm just gonna go out a window and up onto the roof.
Do you grab anything before you go?
I'm gonna grab a little bit out of that decanter
Okay.
with a vial.
Okay.
I got my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sneak into a place without my stuff.
All right. There is also, you notice, a book with a bookmark that someone has almost finished reading. Do you want to take the book before they get the conclusion?
Incredible.
Sure,
Oh,
that's petty enough.
There you go. All right. You grab the book, the bookmark.
What's the title? In a general sense, you don't have to have a.
It
exact title.
is a tawdry romance.
Good.
It was just about to get to the good part.
Stuffing that in my shirt and getting out the window.
Yep. All right, you get out the window. There is a convenient ledge. You have to be stealthy because you're in plain view of everyone in town on a prominent building. Every movement has to be calculated. Roll stealth again.
Well, certainly, Banda's skilled enough. They wouldn't get into any big chase or any big spectacle or anything of the sort.
No, I don't think so. I think honestly, it seemed like an in and out kind of thing. Banda's kind of the best there is, and helping out Green Gold, I think an endeavor worth doing.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
I went blurry. You're so stealthy. That's how stealthy you are.
Goodness.
Wow.
I am permanently blurry.
There you are.
There we go.
Hey.
All right, 25. Astonishing. You slink along that ledge like you're a squirrel. No one notices you. You work your way all around the building to the canal side. You don't have to be quite as careful here, although you're still in view of some buildings. There are windows, large windows, to 2 enormous rooms. You don't know which one she's in.
Her near the...
One question, I'm assuming you closed the window after yourself.
Yes. Yes. May I take a moment in between windows to try and put together whereabouts, like which side of the hall I might have heard the voices on?
It was impossible
the
to
knock.
tell because they were through it.
Okay.
You had closed the door.
Yeah.
You just know that she's in one of those 2 rooms.
Okay.
You might have to do the around
Alright.
the windowsill.
Then if that's how it's gotta be that way.
Yep.
25 stealth is pretty good.
Yeah, you can keep that stealth roll. You don't need to roll again. Oh, interesting. Okay. You peer into this room and you see an enormous sort of receiving room. Like it is where they would entertain selected guests. There's a harpsichord in the center of the room. There are objects on display in cases, and there are comfortable lounging areas, and there is a desk here. You see one person, a maid, dusting. Actually, make a perception check.
Come on, get up there.
Got it.
Good enough.
Just a 15.
As you watch, you see a maid dusting something to the point where it's very clear they've been dusting this for probably half an hour, just so that they look busy if anyone comes in. There's visual signs of wear on this glass case from over dusting. And they're facing away from you.
They didn't tell any of the help someone broke into the house? What if they were dangerous? Not even a word.
Yeah, sure, let's go in here. Why not?
Yeah. How do you get in? Check the windows to see if they're unlocked?
Yep, and if they are locked, a little bit of thieves' tool shenaniganry. I think I can slip something in and lift a
Yeah.
latch if it's that style.
You do have to do that, but it's trivially easy. You don't have to roll. They're not expecting anyone on the 3rd floor, and these are not robust locks. They're just a latch. So you unlatch it. What you do have to roll again is the stealth to enter the room without her noticing.
Just straight shenaniganry, goodness.
All right, you are inside the room. You quietly close the window. You relatch it. What do you do? She does not turn around. She does not notice.
I'm going to close it, but I'm not going to relatch it. Just in
Okay.
case I need to make a hasty escape out.
Sure.
into
Yeah.
the
No.
canal.
Absolutely. You figure you might even be able to jump into the water from here.
Oh no.
That's much better than...
It's still a long way.
It's a long way, but it's something.
Yep. So what do you do?
You said the desk.
Yeah, there's a desk. It's to your left. It is not close to her. Who knows? Maybe you could rifle the desk without her even being any the wiser.
I'd like to make an attempt at that. Why not?
All right.
Let's.
You probably do have a hero point, So
Oh yeah, I was going to announce you do have a hero point.
Okay.
Thanks for the reminder.
Let's see. And there's nothing just visible on this desk that seems.
There are lots of things visible on this desk. Most of them mundane. There's
Yeah.
blotters and pads and quills and ink and that sort of thing.
Inkwells and-
Yeah, that's right. But no big book labeled Diary of Nefarious
Oh,
Deed.
no. And no, like, half-written letters or anything like that.
No. Please execute the scandalous activity that I've asked you to engage in. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to check the desk, which is a search.
Yep. And that is perception, I think.
Your
19.
attention is immediately drawn to the fact that one of the drawers is locked, but you do quietly look through the others, and you see some half-finished letters. You see some received letters in the left drawer. You see some normal sorts of personal items, hairbrush, etc., in one of the top drawers, but the other large drawer is locked. If only there were some way you might be able to think of to bypass a lock. To be foiled at this late stage after all your triumphs is a shame. Or,
I had to pick that lock.
oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of that. A little bit of lock picking with the, I think it's thievery. Disable it, take a lock. I am trained, and I have the tools. And
And
I
you-
do!
have the
You pop
tools,
the
have the
lock.
talent.
Absolutely. This is not a high security lock. This is a
One of those you have
private-
those
a
little
privacy lock,
silly
right?
skeleton. Yeah.
If you had a quill, you could almost open it, but you have thieves' picks. It takes you no time at all, and you make no noise doing it because
Oh.
of your expertise. So you open the drawer. Inside is a pouch and a book with gold lettering that says diary.
Pouch, book, going in shirt. I'm going back out the window. I'm going to close that drawer first,
Yes.
then lock it again.
Yes.
And I'm out that window.
At that moment, the door opens, and you see the guard who had taken you inside in the first place, and his eyes go wide when he sees you. And when you wave, he becomes enraged, and he starts running towards you. Are you making a stealth roll and stealthily creeping to the window, or are you?
Oh, this becomes an acrobatics thing. This is no
I
longer
thought so.
stealth. Like,
Yeah.
as much as it would be funny to gaslight this guard
Yes.
and make him seem crazy with this poor maid in here.
Yep.
Just a
It
second.
is not elegant. So it's a difficult maneuver. You're pushing open the window, running, and presumably diving for the water.
Pretty much.
All right. So you
Or
make
at the very least to a lower area.
it's too high up. You will.
Okay.
It would be very, very injurious to land on the ground. So your goal here is to make
Okay.
it far enough that you go splash instead of thud, and you
And
do.
hope the book is going to survive the wet.
It's magical ink. It's she's rich.
Fine, it's fine.
Yeah,
Dressed
dry
as a
out.
chef.
Time the
So
drop so that it hits the ground before you hit the water.
you hit the water, but you hit the water harder than you meant to.
Okay.
So you take 1 point of damage from the impact,
Oh, that's not so bad.
as opposed to a lot of damage if you hadn't made the water. Fantastic. So you hit the canal. And, we don't have to make any other rolls because you know the town well enough that you can swim to a location where you can come out in relative privacy, dry yourself off, and get somewhere safe.
Yeah, so
Alright.
what drink do we get Banda when he returns triumphant? I was thinking like JDR, do you have any recommendations? I'm thinking maybe like a scotch or
Thinking a nice mead would do the trick.
yeah. I think that's a good idea. Taz, do you have any mead?
Yeah, mead. That's what I make mostly.
We're gonna need 4 cups because
Yeah, easy.
we're certain-
And again, the mead is really good, and it's gotten better over the last 3 years. 5 cups of mead, and Banda. Is this where you would go? Still a
There is
little
one other
waterlogged?
place I would go first, and that is more or less out in the middle of nowhere to dry off the things that I have
Yeah.
pilfered.
There is some damage to the book, and that some of the ink around the edges has run, but most of each page is preserved, and you fan it out in front of the fire and dry it quickly.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And the romance novel.
And a
whatever
romance-
the
oh, yeah.
pouch is.
That ink is not damaged. The pages are wrinkled and the cover is ruined, but
That's okay.
the bookmark is solid silver.
Oh,
Put that in my pouch.
Yep.
we did it. We're heroes.
Yes,
Don't know what
exactly.
that weird pouch is, but that's just gonna hang out for a bit.
You can tell
think I-
what's in it. It's coins.
Okay, I'm gonna bury that.
Okay.
Nest egg for later.
Yeah, fair enough.
A geocache.
It's 20 gold coins.
And you know what? I'm gonna put that silver bookmark in there with them.
Yeah, sure. It's a personalized bookmark, so anyone would recognize who that belongs to if they know the name.
Melt that
When you
down
get
later.
back to Taz's tankard and table, you are dry, and there is no sign of any misadventure. I will
Except for the
say,
shit-eating grin on his face.
only one person saw him, but that person saw him twice and has booked you solid. Will recognize you if you.
Oh,
if you
absolutely.
You ever come in as a chef, he's gonna have you clocked
Yeah, that's
dead
right.
to rights.
Yeah. All right. Well, disguise exists for a reason. You can still make yourself look different. All right. Go ahead. You walk in.
Hey, so I can't do that again. Probably for another year.
But you're here. It clearly went well. I'll push a glass towards you. Easy, in and out, right? The disguise was perfect. I spent all
In,
night
out.
sewing it.
Nah. But it's okay. I just gotta go on a day that guard ain't learned again.
But you did it. What did you find? What was it like? Kind of like ostentatious, right?
And places. Fancy, crappy romance novel.
This is better than I could have
Whoever
hoped
was reading
for.
it isn't gonna get to know what happened. And this.
Can we all pour over it? Anyone who's interested? Oh,
oh yeah.
It is so badly written, but it'll do the job.
it's poorly written. What's
The romance novel.
oh, the romance novel. I'm curious about the other book too, but
That
I
hasn't been
diary.
presented yet.
Oh, no,
Oh,
that's being passed over. It's
Okay.
like, oh.
All right. So I'm going to read out a little bit of the notes that would normally take a huge amount of work to track down for learning about Lady Selaval. So her name is Lady Thanara Selaval. She's known as a court gossip, a social climber, and you get the sense from her diary she is a extremely vindictive and jealous saboteur of others' careers if she can manage it. Anyone crosses her, she is relentless. She portrays herself as an elegant noble with sharp wit, sharper fashion, and a social climber. But you realize she's technically a lesser noble, and her mastery of gossip and courtly maneuvering has made her surprisingly influential, despite her actual lesser status among the nobility, the elven nobility. She's witty and cruel, but tries to hide her vindictive nature. But the diary lays it all bare. If whoever's writing that gossip note got a hold of this diary, they would be able to shred her. Absolutely, they would. She is desperate for social validation. She treats political standing as a pageant, a contest to be won and for others to lose. She's doesn't care at all about the actual political issues or what gets resolved or what helps people. That doesn't matter to her at all. She picks the winning cause and pushes it forward to advance her own standing. And she talks about it openly in her diary in a way that, if it ended up in the Queen's hands, would demolish her credibility with the nobility and with the court. So there's different ways that you could choose to use this diary. Different effects. You can disgrace her with the populace and the other nobility, or you can disgrace her directly with the Queen, but you'd need access to the Queen to do it.
Banda, this is amazing.
She has betrayed people who trusted her and friends when it's convenient to do so. There's no redeeming values you see present in the diary. She talks openly about how it amuses her when people are shocked that she turns on them, and she is incredibly petty. She talks about you and some of her plans to get you to steal invitations to parties or to recover scandalous correspondence from others by breaking into their homes, which is interesting given what happened. Sabotage other people's reputations or spy on rivals. And she sees everything as a games, but she doesn't care if the consequences are real for others. But anytime anyone wins anything over on her, she immediately complains about how unfair they are and how they've targeted her. Just wretched stuff. Anyways, it becomes painful to read because you get the tragedies of all the people she's hurt along the way. So yeah, nothing really.
Nothing really.
I wonder if we could plant this diary with Valthorn without giving him any of the meaningful information in it and kind of pit them against one another to self-destruct.
There is mention of Valthorn in the diary, and they have occasionally allied themselves with each other, and neither has betrayed the other yet.
I think we gotta figure out maybe the rag. Maybe we make copies. I think maybe this goes everywhere, on every wall, on every building. Banda, you have the biggest shit-eating grin I've ever seen on your face. I'm only ever asking you to do this stuff again.
But no.
Well done.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Wait.
you're really good at this.
Okay.
They're completely unaware of the very serious consequences. You took an entire hit point of damage.
Just like a small little scratch.
Yeah.
My friends. What do you think about the name Guardians of Green Gold?
That's not bad.
A little ostentatious, but I ain't mad.
Terrible.
We can just say GG to everybody that meets us.
Exactly.
Bear with me one
From
sec.
Green Gold with love.
How long have you been thinking about
I
that,
do like
JDR?
that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it since we decided to apparently take down the nobles.
I like your thinking.
This is good. Can figure this out. I'm worried that hurting Lady Celaval is going to only strengthen Valthorn's position in the town. So I guess he might be the next one, but...
That's why I was saying I would like it if we could provide this ammunition to Valthorn without giving him any real information. But Celaval would think that he does, and therefore he's a target for him.
Yeah.
Forgery with some mocked up entries.
Maybe,
I'm not opposed.
Maybe track that guard that caught you and have him conveniently see you walking out of the Valthorn estate.
I like that idea. Who am I working for? Lord Valthorn.
Devious.
Perfect. This is perfect.
Oh.
Nothing could go
I can make one more stop today.
You should
Hold
make
my
copies of
mead.
this. No,
Definitely
we
make
should make
copies.
copies of this before you go. Because it
So,
reminds me
Varen, you have access to scribes who would be happy to surreptitiously and confidentially copy this document.
Oh,
I was already thinking about doing exactly that.
It wouldn't even cost you anything other than the ink and the books.
Lovely. And I've got plenty of that.
Hey, though, since I helped you out with this, how do you feel about helping me hunt some, I don't know, ghosts or undead or any manner of else out there?
you need to hunt a ghost?
Maybe. At some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I could help you hunt a ghost. I'm very good at hunting things.
Good, because I got a trip planned to Ustalav soon.
Tell me when and where, and we'll go.
We're going to fade there for a moment. Because in the passage of time, these kinds of ideas form part of your backstory working together. You do indeed get the books copied. What you do with them, you still haven't quite decided yet, but something pressing looms. And you do go on an adventure where there's a haunted shrine to Calistria that you end up purging of both physical and ghostly undead. But we're going to pan past that. It becomes part of your history, part of your backstory, part of the five of you working together, Toad included. Turns out you run a couple of island adventures too, with the commander and Serthal sending you jointly on a mission to recover some lost treasures from some other abandoned town. Why? You don't realize till you get there. There's a plague, apparently. You experience great danger, but again, part of your backstory. We're going to pan past that. We're going to talk about when you are back from some of these adventures, and you're sitting again in Taz's tankard and table, the only patrons there at the time other than the commander and Serthal, who are sitting there with you, waiting to be briefed on your success. And you hand over the relics, non-magical but still valuable, to Serthal, and he nods and he says, "Your cut of this relic recovery alone allows me to offer you something that I hope you will find of value. I'd like to tie you more deeply to green gold because we've worked so well together." And the commander nods. "I'm prepared to supply. I own a number of properties in town. I'm prepared to give the five of you one of those properties to use as a base of operations, a home here in Green Gold, in the hopes that it will tie you to this location and we'll be able to continue working profitably together. What say you? And where would you prefer to be?" So if you turn to the map, he is offering you a townhouse that is right next door to Taz's tankard and table in the Docks District, which he does not expect you to accept. He is also offering you a little residence on the edge of the forest, which I will ping. Right there. And there's also buried deep in the commercial district, a very tiny house that would not comfortably sleep everyone, but at least would be a base of operations. Its location makes it valuable, but its size does not compare to the others.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking.
Worried for the location of how close it is to someone's estate.
Horrifyingly close.
But you know, she doesn't.
I'll just come and go out the back door. You don't gotta see me.
All right, that's fine for me then. It's much better than.
All right. You all agree?
I wouldn't mind living next door to Taz's place, but
Also wouldn't mind living next door to Taz's place.
Mm.
I think that Varen has probably been donating a little bit of gold to Taz's place based off of whatever they earned from their jobs.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yep. Understood. So there is the problem that that outlying house is equidistant from 3 noble estates and is conspicuous, whereas the one in the docks district, if you're looking for a stealthy place to retreat to, is the better choice. But it's nowhere near as comfortable, and it's in a way worse neighborhood. They're about similar size.
Help the community grow, you know?
I can sleep anywhere. I really don't care.
I've fallen asleep at the library many a time. So.
JDR?
Man.
My friends, think about the branding. We are the guardians of green gold. No matter where we are, we must project an image of strength.
All right. So, is that...
Let's flip a coin, because I don't have
Oh,
a
okay.
preference one way or the
That's-
other.
JDR, you're pushing for the noble house, right? Like the one,
Yes.
then we're a sight to be seen.
Think about it in the eyes of the citizens. Us guardians not afraid to be near nobles. Why should we fear them? They're no better than us.
Okay, I think I'll...
like the docks.
Yeah. I don't know. JDR kind of won me over on this one. And I can expand onto our house eventually.
All right.
I mean, yeah, you can't do that with a townhouse.
So, are you still 2-2? But the 2 has changed?
I think that we're going for the noble one.
Which one?
Yeah, I think we're being outvoted.
I think
Sorry, which one?
the noble house. This one.
Okay.
The nice one.
All right.
Oh,
Toad, what do you think? Hey, bitch.
Exactly.
Could have said it better myself.
All right, there we go. On the map.
H.
H for home. Over the next few months, still within this 3-year period, you managed to outfit it fairly nicely. Mostly through scavenged, constructed, or donated furnishings. You don't spend a ton of money on it, but everyone has a room, and and there's a common room. Do you staff it? Not yet, but there's room for staff if you should hire people who you trust, or earn the trust of. But that is the only payment you get for that relic. But you get the sense that it's a generous payment nonetheless. All right. The nice thing about that, Banda, is because you're on the edge of the woods, in fact, the animals that you've made connections with sometimes show up in the backyard, including one of particular note. A giant porcupine.
Squeakers.
Squeakers comes by on the regular to eat your kitchen scraps and receive very careful scritches.
When it's pumpkin season, you're gonna have a field day.
Scritches, all of you see this astonishing and terrifying creature in your backyard, and Banda giving it its scratch at a safe distance with a stick.
A broom.
A broom.
Scrubby, scrubby.
I was wondering how you made that broom. I thought the bristles on the broom looked kind of weird, but you got them from a porcupine?
Yeah, he's got a shed too.
Oh, no. No. Works for me.
that works.
JDR. Do you have any interactions during this time with Taz at the tankard and table?
Yeah, I think I'll help Taz out a bit. Now that I'm more interested in, besides just drinking alcohol, I'm interested in now the making of it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm like, yeah, I'll help out.
they can teach you a lot about brewing. And in fact, their skills are definitely there rather than on the people side of running a tavern. But some of your exploits have started attracting attention. And sometimes people come to the tavern just to hear the tales of, the haunted shrine or the island of mystery. And who would be the best one to sort of aggrandize your activities and increase the reputation of the Guardians of Greengold?
I
Who's got the
don't
best?
actually know because Banda's all for bullshitting a story, but I don't know if it's necessarily gonna be like well performed.
Perfect. Let's do this.
So performance.
Each of you, either diplomacy or performance, or any other skill that you think would make sense for your character in terms of spreading the lore of the Guardians of Greengold. Make a roll in the log there.
If I lie a little bit to like make the story a little more like beef it up a bit or punch up on it, could I
Can we just
use
straight
deception?
You can use deception.
I don't want to straight lie, but I do want to have some
Yeah, a little
Absolutely.
grander elements.
You embellish the horrifying spirit was in fact just a regular ethereal ghost. Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, dice.
Nice.
Because we were kind of working with like haunted stuff, could Varen use occultism?
Yes.
And like their knowledge of the occult to...
Yes. Especially when you're trying to spread the word among the academics.
Can I?
oh my god.
This is a nat one, but
no,
it's
nat
still
one.
13.
It's
Yeah.
still 13.
I'll use my hero point I have.
I'm
And
also going to use my hero.
You may do that.
could I use Arcana instead and use my spell Bullhorn to like get the attention of people's, like to carry my voice or like carry the voice of my friends?
That would make a very different kind of impression.
Come on.
In the sense that if you were just advertising for Taz's Tankard and Table, that would be the spell to use, and using your stories to try and attract people to story time at Taz's Tankard and Table, that would absolutely be something you could do. It's still the same dice roll. It's just going to affect more people. But they will see it with a little bit of, there you go.
And then using a hero point for that. Yep, there we go.
There we
Very
go.
nice.
All right. So the tavern starts to experience a really eclectic, bizarrely eclectic group of people, including academics who are interested in occultism, people who want to hear adventure tales, and just everyone who heard the bullhorn. But it starts to build up a little bit of clientele, and Taz, wow. Yeah. Taz knows who's responsible for the turn in his fortunes, and it starts to make a difference. The tavern's actually making money. All right. Let's take a brief break there. We'll be back, and we're going to keep this session short. Next time, we hope to have Stephen with us. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. All right, we're going to wrap up this downtime session and get ready for the final part of Prelude 2. Before we do, there were a couple of things people put out during the break. Let's explore those really briefly. Varen was going to be trying to establish some reputation as a researcher and develop some narrow areas of research. As we're closing off the end of the 3-year period, let's get you to do one more academic lore roll.
$25.
Awesome. You are aware that there are cycles to all things in your studies, and there's a coming time you expect based on the conversations with the academics at the observatory and at the library that suggests that there's going to be a time in the next few years where Keonan is rumored to be headed for some sort of crisis. You don't know what kind of credibility to give those suggestions, but those at the observatory who are most outlandish in their predictions caution you with earnest sincerity. Things are going to get very bad. And when you press them for details, they're like, that's not how these things work. We don't get details. We only get whispers and hints of the coming trends, but things are going to be dire indeed. JDR, you do in fact have contacts with the druids of the Circle of the Green Sickle. And Cedric the Farseeing does come into town from occasion to occasion. And they have indeed not seen any trace in 3 years of those 3 other druids that were part of their circle. And they're asking you for advice as to whether they should call themselves the Triangle of the Green Sickle.
Are you perhaps against recruiting?
Sadly, there's not much interest in joining the circle, the Triangle. It's a lot of these things have to happen organically.
Hmm.
You don't post an advert.
Well, I mean, for now, you can call yourselves the Triangle. There's really got to be a better way to say that.
Pyramid doesn't give the right. Yeah, there you go. Pyramid doesn't give the right impression. Anyways, we'll come back to it. I have a friend who's been asking about adventurous types, and I wonder if you'd be willing to meet with her.
I would be willing. Also, I won't forget your understaff problem. I shall look into some hopefully reliable candidates if I can.
Thank you, JDR. I was happy to hear that you are no longer working with Valthorn. I understand the rumors are true.
Yes, well, not only was I underinformed, if things had gotten a certain way, I'm not convinced that my life would not have been at risk, which is a big breach of trust.
I would say. Well, Mervia is my friend, and she runs the Queen's Cup, the tea garden. Would you go and see her for me? Bring your friends.
Absolutely, especially if you're recommending. I have to try it out at least once.
Banda, how would you like to close off your downtime?
I think it's a combination of spending a lot of time on the docks / in Taz's Tavern, quite possibly being a tattoo artist for sailors that are coming and going, because where else get drinks?
Well,
Get tattoo.
And you can do magical tattoos, correct?
Yes. In fact, one of the ones he knows how to do is the triangle teeth, I think it's called. Let me double check what it was called. Didn't write it there, wrote it over here.
A lot of triangles.
A lot of triangles, yeah.
Theme of the evening, unintentional. Triad. That's good. Why did I not think of triad?
I don't know where it went, but
Let's escape.
Essentially it's gives protection to seafarers against potential like threats on the sea. It's
Right.
just
Is it permanent?
yeah, they are permanent tattoos. They're not
Okay.
consumable.
That would be extremely popular in a port city, and over time is a definite way to generate revenue as a downtime activity. That is awesome.
As well as navigator star tattoos, where It's pretty much a compass you put on your hand with a star, some celestial body, and you do one of these to figure out where you're at.
That is fantastic. Yeah, so yeah, very popular. And again, drawing people to Taz's Tavern. Anyone else have anything specific that they would want to do before we end the downtime? Okay. So you all go to see Mervia, and we'll just end off with this final scene.
Pretty.
Very pretty.
This is one of the Tom Cardhouse maps, and this is where you come in.
Where?
And this place is huge. It's elegant. There is no way that tea revenue would support a place like this. And you, in fact, later learn that Mervia is a lesser noble, and it's not the revenue from tea. It's the delight of this place that has her running it. And there's a guard at the door who looks immaculately well trained, certainly well equipped, and is very, very friendly. How do you introduce yourselves?
Well, we are the Guardians of Green Gold, and I, J.D. Orfelavel, am here on the recommendation of Cedric the Farsi.
Ah, yes. Mervia is expecting you. I'll see if she wants to invite you in, or perhaps she'll come and meet you in our atrium. And the doors open. They're huge doors, and you're brought into the atrium. And how are you dressed, and how immaculate are you as a group? Let's start with Toad, who's got a head like a squashed pumpkin, and possibly some tattoos. How are the rest of you presenting yourselves?
I think that Varen is kind of dressed in cascading robes that are usually not as nicely cleaned as they are, but in consideration of the fact that we were going somewhere nicer, they probably broke out something that's a little bit better taken care of, because usually they would just not care to repair or anything like that. It's unnecessary for research, but in company, maybe something a little bit nicer.
Okay. Briella, the wizard?
I think I'm using my Dwemer Weave robe, which didn't send the instruction what it is. But it's essentially I can like disguise self my clothes. So I think I make it into like kind of one of my more detective outfits. So I think it's more classic. So I think they have like on like a duster. The robe kind of turns into a duster, and they're wearing like a shirt with a lot of pockets on it, like really well kept.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. JDR?
I think JDR is still pretty plain. He's just replaced. He usually wears like a hooded sort of like shawl that is over the shoulders, over top like a shirt.
Yeah.
Has traded that in for like a full sort of hooded robe that is that's more like green with gold trim. And looks nice, but is not like expensive nice, but is taken care of nice.
Okay. And Banda, the ranger?
Banda is nicer than Banda's usual.
Okay.
So for once, hair is actually pulled up nicely instead of just kind of loosely and falling wherever. The cloak of feline rest is a kind of velvety material, and that's over top of whatever about the town clothes that he's got. He's not wearing armor. Count your blessings, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
He's still got visible tattoos on his face, hands, and arms.
All right. That's fine. So another guard leads you into the room to the south, which is this long hall that is a private area right over the cascading waterfall. And you are not taken into the common room. Instead, Mervia joins you there, and you are subjected to a really full experience in the tea house, because despite Toad being repugnant, the rest of you present half decently, and they're trying to ask you to do a favor. And so they bring you, they seat you at one of these tables. There are several attendants. They go through a whole ritual of brewing a tea that you, in particular, Briella, recognize by scent and odor. It is, and it fills this room combined with the mists from the waterfall in a way that is almost magical. And in fact is magical. And you are given the presentation, the pomp, the circumstances. Nothing is rushed. You're there for an hour before you have your first sip of tea, and the anticipation is part of it. And there are an assortment of treats and biscuits, but the tea is the experience, but the whole experience is the experience. And at the end, feeling really a sense of serenity that normally escapes you in your day-to-day lives, she says, "Thank you for coming, and thank you for your patience. I thought it would only be fair to give you a sample of our experiences that we offer here. Really, what I need help with is this. Tormigan, the proprietor of Tormigan's Tap, a new tavern that is opening up, has, for some reason, decided to shake us down and try to intimidate our patrons. Our common room, every day now, someone new comes in and disrupts the serenity of this place, deliberately. And I cannot have my people resort to violence, even when provoked. And I do not want to tell you how to do your job, but this is not sustainable, and I need your help." And we'll end it there. Thank you, everyone. I really loved your break and enter, Banda. That was amazing. Well played by all. That was my favorite moment so far in this campaign, by far, and it all started with a critical 1. Thanks all. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.